So have you ever wondered how you compare against other people your age when it comes to your superannuation balance? Well, today we're going to dive into the numbers and we'll also figure out some of the ways to boost your balance if you are feeling a little bit behind. That way we'll never run out of money at retirement, and if you're ahead, hopefully this video will serve as reassurances that you're on the right track. So let's start with the first age group of 18 to 24. Now, if you're under the age of 24, it's likely that you've just started working, either part-time, casually, or perhaps it's your first full-time job. So according to the data from the ATO, the average superannuation balance for a male aged between 18 to 24 is $8,148, whilst the average for a female is $7,740. And the median balance for a male is $4,198, and for a female, it's $4,045. Now, throughout this video, you're gonna see me referencing both the averages and the medians, because sometimes the averages aren't the best representation of your age group, just because there's a few large portfolios that are skewing the results. Now, within this age group, it's also common to have worked multiple jobs already. So you might actually find that you have multiple superannuation accounts set up for you by your previous employers. Data from the ATO actually showed that there were 34% of people within this age group with at least 2 superannuation accounts open, and that there were 8% of people with 3 or more superannuation accounts open. It is going to be crucial to consolidate all of your superannuation accounts into one, because we don't want to be paying multiple fees across several accounts. You can very easily consolidate your superannuation accounts online using the ATO portal, and by doing this, you're going to set yourself up for success later on in life, because not only are you going to be paying less fees overall, but you can manage your superannuation accounts in one place. Now, because it's likely that you aren't earning as much money yet in your life within this age group, another thing that you can take advantage of that is going to help you significantly boost your retirement savings is taking advantage of the government's Super Co-Contribution Scheme. If you're eligible and you make a personal contribution to your superannuation, the government will match up to 50% of the amount that you contribute, up to a maximum of $500. So for example, if I earned $30,000 this year and I made a personal contribution to my superannuation account of $1,000, the government will make a co-contribution for free of $500. That's essentially a free $500 into your superannuation account that's going to go a long way towards helping you build your retirement savings. Now, there are different income thresholds to determine how much of a co-contribution you'll receive. So if you're earning more than $58,445, then unfortunately you won't be eligible for any co-contributions. But if you're earning less than $43,445, then you're eligible for the full $500 co-contribution from the government. And if you earn anything in between, then it'll be a tiered amount as to how much you'll receive from the government. So whilst the ages of 18 to 24 are where you're focused on getting started, the ages of 25 to 34 are where things start to pick up. The average balance of a male is $41,440, whilst on the other hand, the average for a female is $35,162, and the median for a male is $34,510, whilst it's $29,432 for females. Retirement research actually shows that couples require a superannuation balance combined of $690,000 to retire comfortably, and singles need $595,000 to have a comfortable retirement. This essentially includes expenses like leisure activities, a good standard of living, having private health insurance, a car, and going on domestic and international travel once or twice a year. The research also does assume that you own your own house and that you do have access to a part pension. Now, obviously, depending on your own lifestyle, you might need a little bit more or you might need a little bit less, but this is the overall guidelines from the research. Now, obviously at this age range, we're a good 30 years from retirement. However, hopefully we're all aspiring to have more than the average in our retirement savings. One of the goals of today's video is to show you how most people in Australia are faring when it comes to their superannuation balance balances. So if you aren't in a spot where you want to be financially, now is the time to really stop and think about how you can actually accelerate your investments or savings in order to have a comfortable retirement later on in life. Now, I think there are two things in this age range that can really set you up for success later on in retirement. And the first one is going to be making concessional contributions to your superannuation account. This is when you essentially take your pre-taxable income and then contribute that to your superannuation account, otherwise known as salary sacrificing. By doing this, you can enjoy significant tax savings because your superannuation account is a tax favorable environment because all concessional contributions are only ever taxed at 15% versus your own marginal tax rate. So for example, if I made $80,000 this year, that means that my marginal tax rate is 32.5%. Now let's say I decided to salary sacrifice $5,000 each year into my superannuation account. This would only be taxed at 15%, meaning I'd only have to pay $750 in taxes, as opposed to my marginal tax rate of 32.5%, where I'd need to pay $1,625, resulting in a tax savings of $875. Even if you're only salary sacrificing $50 to $100 each paycheck, if you get the average returns of the stock market, by the time you're retired at 65, you're still gonna have a significantly larger balance as opposed to not salary sacrificing, just because you've had 30 years for that money to compound. Now, the second goal that you should have is that your income should be sustainable, stable, and have opportunities for growth as well. If you don't feel like your income is growing, especially in your 30s, then perhaps this is the time to pursue further education, like getting a certification or perhaps further credentials to help you earn money later on in life. Ideally, in your 30s, you're getting more experience so that you can leverage those into higher paying jobs later on in life. This way, you can put more of that money away for retirement later on in life so that we can have more in our savings than the average Australian. Now, another way to get ahead is to actually like the video and subscribe to the channel for more personal finance related content in the future. Right, so by the time you're 35 to 44, the average and the median really start to get up there. So the average for a male is $116,494, whilst for females it's $90,729, and the median is $95,494 for males, whilst for females it's $67,568. For the most part, if you're in this age range, you want to make sure that the fundamentals have already been set up. So everything that we've talked about so far in the video should pretty much be on autopilot for you. You'll likely be hyper-focused on growing your family and your career, so make sure you just stay focused on that. You pretty much just want your finances set up for you so that you don't really have to think about it, because in the next age group, things really start to ramp up. By the age of 45 to 54, the average for males jumps to $218,100. Female balances go up to $161,697, whilst the median balance for males is $153,300, and for females, it's $104,325. Now, if you've been following the numbers, a trend that you've probably noticed is that as we've gone up the age group, the differences between the median and the mean has just gone greater and greater. And this is due to the average portfolio balance being skewed by those people who have significantly more in their retirement savings. So the median is probably a better representation of the everyday person. Now, at this age group, you're essentially right around the corner from retirement. So ideally, we should be maxing out our concessional contributions each year. Right now, the concessional contribution cap is $27,500, which includes both contributions made by your employer and yourself. Now, if you have a total superannuation balance of less than $500,000, then you may be eligible to actually contribute more than the cap. You can essentially make additional contributions for any unused cap for the past 5 years. And you can check this very easily by going onto the ATO account and then going under the Manage Super option. So I think there are a few big goals in our 50s. As we end the decade, we want to make sure that we're living a life without debt. This means paying off any car loans and personal loans, and if you still have a mortgage, figuring out a way to pay that down considerably and hopefully live mortgage free. And number two, I think we should be knowing exactly how much we need in terms of expenses to live comfortably in retirement. It's really important to get a good sense of how much you're spending every year and how much you expect to spend in the future so that we can plan for a comfortable retirement. All right, so the final age bracket of 55 to 64. We have males with an average superannuation balance of $356,405 and females with an average balance of $274,172, whilst the median for a male is $201,629 and for females it's $144,766. So at this age group, you're pretty much at retirement's doorstep. And let's say that you and your partner had the median superannuation balances. This would essentially put you at a combined balance of around $350,000 to use for retirement. Now remember that the research showed that you need at least $690,000 as a couple to live comfortably in retirement. If this was your only source of income in retirement, even if you are extremely frugal, it's very likely that you are going to run out of money in retirement. Now, if we are looking at the entire video and all of the averages and medians across all of the different age groups, it's pretty shocking because I don't think any of these numbers represent what we actually need in Australia to retire comfortably. So if you are watching this video and you're in one of the younger age groups, even if you're in one of the age groups where you're 10 to 15 away from retirement, it's going to be super important that we start thinking about making more concessional contributions to our superannuation. Even an extra $50 to $100 every week or every month is going to make a huge difference come retirement time. Now, one of the things that I didn't mention in this video that is going to be crucial to setting yourself up for retirement is choosing the right superannuation fund. Because choosing the wrong superannuation fund could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars when it comes to retirement. So if you want to know which superannuation funds are the best that you can sign up for, click on this video right now.